An advocacy group for rape victims released a disturbing new report surrounding untested rape kits.
Now, this group found thousands of kits are just sitting in evidence rooms while the victims wait. And now a U.S. Senate committee is taking a closer look to end the backlog. Officials say crime labs need help.
The number one plea that we hear from our state police, crime labs, and the forensic scientists is that they are overwhelmed.
Advocates and victims want lawmakers to put money behind an actual count of those untested kits. And they also want better training for crime lab technicians. Morgan Wagner takes a closer look at some of the cases here in Idaho, and she joins us live. She's in the newsroom.
Despite the large number of rape kits not being tested around the United States, Idaho is one of few states that's being recognized for being ahead of the game.
In the state of Idaho, we have actually been very proactive. We started dealing with this issue about a year ago. We set up a committee of law enforcement, nurses, victims, prosecuting attorneys, and judges in order to discuss the issue and come up with a plan.
Out of all the law enforcement agencies in the state, only one has a forensics lab. Anytime a rape kit is submitted to police, it makes its way down to Meridian, to the Idaho State Police Department. Lab manager Riley Nolan says although it can be a big job for her lab to handle, the number of untested kits we have in the state is lower than most other states.
Our law enforcement partners have been thinking about this, planning this for over a year, so our number, I would say we're less than 200 kids.
Idaho has no statute of limitations for rape kit testing.
Depending on how the item is stored, DNA can be viable for testing many, many years later, 30 years later.
Nolan says out of all the DNA kits that come through the lab, 70% of them are rape kits.